skin and put my bones on. To my skin.
What is up, guys? Dane back for a little car review today. Today we're in my good buddy Esteban's. Esteban, say hello.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
We're in his 2013 Mazdaspeed 3, and I was talking to him earlier, and said kind of low key, this is one of my favorite cars ever made. So there's a very small list of cars that I think are close to perfect, and this car makes that list. So this is definitely one of the craziest Speed 3s I've ever driven or seen. So Esteban, tell me a little about your Speed 3.
Well, it's my little minivan, and I love it. I've had the car for about 9 months. It's not stock, but it's not a monster. I think you're kind of over-exaggerating it, but it is really fun for what it is. It's a nice little street car. It's tuned by Purple Drank Tuning, Will Dawson. He's the man, as many of you guys know in the speed community. It's on 5 gallons of E85. It's got a 3-inch intake from HTP, Cork Sport downpipe and full exhaust.
Really good noise.
Oh yeah, it sounds pretty good. Sometimes I wish it was a little bit louder, but then again, on those road trips, I enjoy it.
Well, you daily this thing, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
So you don't
drive
want
it a lot.
A car that rattles your brain out when you're driving.
Got a full aftermarket exhaust from the downpipe back, but still resonated and it still has mufflers. The mufflers are aftermarket. That's the full Cork Sport exhaust, so it's got a nice note to it.
The pop.
Yeah, it pops a little bit. Like I said, it is on 5 gallons E85, so with that, timing's advanced for it, running around 22 pounds of boost, which is kind of pushing it for the KO4, but Will, he definitely is a magician when it comes to tuning these cars. I know everybody probably wonders, what are the numbers? Ballpark, I've never been on the dyno, but I'd probably say close to 320 wheel. More or less, yeah, more or less.
What does this car weigh?
And then about 380 torque. Weighs right around 3,400.
Okay.
More
it's not a heavy car.
It's not heavy, but
more with me.
Yeah, more. Yeah. Got an extra 400 parts in the car.
6x6.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a fun little daily. It's a 6-speed manual.
What shifter is this?
It's just got a Cobb shift knob on it, stock Mazda shifter.
Stock shifter?
Yeah, surprisingly.
Feels good.
Yeah, the Cobb shift knob really, gives it that enhanced feel. A little bit shorter throws. It's got a nice weight to it, so
yeah.
The Cobb knob definitely works well. It's cool because it's made out of this plastic or some sort of material that doesn't get cold or hot, which was a huge thing. Yeah, in Houston.
Because today it'll be hot and then tomorrow it'll be freezing cold.
Yeah, so that's definitely crucial. As far as exterior goes, or suspension-wise, it's got a Cork Sport front strut bar. It's on H&R lowering springs. No, ABOT lowering springs. It's got some brand new, probably 3-week-old Nitto NT 555s on it, which I do love.
Put Nitto 555s on it?
Yeah,
nice.
I do like him a lot.
And that's iBox for those of you guys. For those of you guys that speak English, it's iBox.
Sorry. And yeah, they're from a Gen 1 Speed 3, so on the Gen 2, when you install them, it sits a little bit lower than the Gen 2 springs, which I like a lot. It's got, I think it's got the perfect stance for what I want. It's not dirt nasty low, but it's also not
it's super flat though.
A monster truck or a minivan like it used to be. Yeah, it quarters pretty well. Just 2 Sundays ago, we were out in, smashing some back roads with the local speed club up in the Sam Houston National Forest. That was a lot of fun. The other thing it has is the Cobb access port, which is hanging over there.
Yeah, this is cool. This tells me all kinds of things that I'm not smart enough to know about.
That's a must.
The only one I know is boost.
Yeah, you got boost, air-to-fuel ratios, knock, fuel pump pressure. Oh, another thing before the Speed 3 guys get on to me because I didn't say it in my mod list. Yes, I do have Autotech high-pressure fuel pump internals. And for those of you who don't know, the Speed platforms, if you don't have those and you start modifying this platform, we like to say zoom, zoom, boom.
Zoom, zoom, boom.
Yeah, instead of zoom, zoom, zoom. So, but yeah, it's a cool car. I've met a lot of cool people, since I got it. They're in the speed community here in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Another big YouTube channel, Impossible. Speed 3 guy out here racing in Mexico. He's one of the first people I met. Really cool guy. He showed me a lot, enlightened me, taught me a lot about the platform. He's got a lot of big plans coming up for his. His is gonna be like a Texas 2K car. Like
you said, big
fast.
YouTube channel. You said another big YouTube channel, insinuating that I have a big YouTube channel.
Well, I mean, he's big and he has a YouTube channel.
I'm big for my size. So I'm gonna bring this up. We were supposed to do this review last week, Esteban. Why didn't we do this last week?
Well, I was out in Mexico, and I had a race set up with the Zevo, like a local call-up page, and then in the process, you know, I really wanted to win, so I brake boosted a lot, multiple times, and just roasted my brakes. They barely had any life going into the race, and after the race, they were just done. I mean, they smelled awful, they were smoking, my car was making horrible noises. But yeah, I replaced them like a day after that.
And that is why you change your brakes.
Yeah, especially if you plan on brake boosting. Because
I've never done that.
Yeah, where's
I've never had a turbocharged car.
Oh yeah, you wanna try it out?
How do you brake boost?
So with Speed 3s or Gen 2, it's a little bit different. So you want to get off the gas and tap the brake just a little bit with your left foot, so the opposite foot.
What gear should it be in?
What you want forward? You can put it in second gear right now.
Second gear?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you want to tap the brake and just get it to bite.
Okay.
And then
with my left foot or my right foot?
With your left foot.
Okay.
So get it to bite. Now load boost, but don't press too hard on the brake. You're just stopping too much. So like.
Okay.
So just tap on it until it bites, and then just throttle. You gotta get on throttle. You gotta get on it. Now let off the brake. Well, you're supposed to hold the brake a little bit more, but so it's brake, let it bite, and then build boost. I mean, you can really get on the throttle, and as you're going, apply more brake pressure. That way, it kind of evens it out, and you stay at whatever speed you want to be at. And then 3 honks, and you're going. Well, that's if you're in Mexico.
3 honks in Mexico, and you're good to go.
Yeah.
Alright, so you can tell because you're just looking at our faces and our black shirts, but that was a very bad attempt at brake boosting. What I did was hit the brakes.
No, it took me a while to learn this car because Clay's SRT4, that's my buddy. He reviewed it 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, however long ago. But I learned to brake boost in SRT4s. And SRT4s, you know, they're from the early 2000s. So you have like no computers, you know, messing with you. So you're able to get on the throttle, then, you know, get on the brake and then start loading it. Well, with this, if you do that, it's gonna like lock you out, not lock you out, but it's just not gonna let you brake boost. It'll shut it down.
That's what it did.
So,
it makes it wouldn't.
Yeah, it's really finicky, but once you get it, it's pretty fun.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
So I think one of my favorite parts about this car, I think you can probably attest to this too, is just its do anything factor.
Yeah.
This is a race car, it's a minivan.
Race car.
It's a Home Depot supply truck. It does everything. So my dad's car, so we put a Mustang hood in the back of it.
Yeah.
So you can put anything in the back of these cars.
Yeah, definitely. You can just fold the seats back. It's got plenty of room. I mean, I've done plenty of road trips, 4 people deep in the car with the hatch loaded full of bags.
I love that hot hatch thing.
Yeah, no,
eventually I'll buy one.
It's definitely, you know, for what you pay for these cars, and with simple bolt-ons, you can get pretty good power, make a lot of, you know, it makes for a fun street car with just simple bolt-ons, even in stock form.
Mm-hmm. So one thing I did notice on my dad's car is it torque steered like crazy. Does this fall victim to the torque steer issue?
I'm not sure if your dad had the...
They're trying to kill you?
Sometimes, yeah.
Okay.
If you're not careful, it definitely will. I have a lot of people... Actually, when I first got the car, here's a funny story. When I first got the car, my sister wanted to drive it. She's older than me. She's driven manual cars. You know, she's no stranger to this. So she gets in the car, and we're at a light, and we're making a left turn, and I'm telling her about how the car has launch control, all this stuff. She's like, oh, I want to hear it. So she, you know, gets on it. Well, the light turns green, and she freaks out, and she's still in launch control. So she dumps the clutch, and she let go of the wheel, and we almost went into like the left turn curb because she just like dumped the clutch, torque steer, lets go of the wheel because she freaked out because, you know, she hears this like crazy spinning noise, and she just wasn't used to all that happening. You know, it was the day after I got my car. And almost, you know,
and your sister
flew into curb, hopped to curb.
Trashed it for you?
Yeah. I don't let her live that one.
That is why you don't let your sister drive your car.
Yeah.
You can let girls drive your car, girlfriend, fiance, wife. You just can't let your sister drive your car. Yeah,
definitely. Do not advise it. Torque steer is it typically only happens in front-wheel drive cars because there's too much going on in the front. You get the power, you get the steering and everything, but it's just essentially you floor it, you have too much torque, and then the wheels go whoop, and if you're not careful, it will send you into the wall.
Yeah, so essentially it's just you're asking the car to do too much. You're asking a car, especially one that's tuned and has all their kinds of crazy stuff done to it, to not only do the job of steering the car, but now it has to power the car also. And when you start giving it too much power, even in stock form, on this car especially, likes to rip the steering wheel out of your hand. So you had a Beamer before and stuff like that. So I mean, you know, going from, you know, a rear-wheel drive BMW, which is an awesome little sports car. You had a 3 Series, right?
Yeah, it was a E46 330i. It was the manual with the M Sport package.
Yeah, so
that was mainly just suspension goodies on that car. It was fun.
So what made you go from that car to this car? Well, you know, why a Speed 3?
Well, it took me a long time, and I mean a really long time, to find what car I wanted, because this is the
you were going 5.0 hunting. You were looking at everything.
Yeah, I really was. So I started off my my car life, I guess, or I don't know what to call it. I had Miatas and I had an Integra as well. So I started off with the front wheel drive car. I didn't like it, so I ended up getting a Miata because I wanted something rear wheel drive. I got my dad's old '92 NA Miata.
And time out, that's still the best car in the entire world.
Yeah, no,
I hold true to that. You want a cool car, you want the best sports car, period, buy a Miata. The answer is always Miata.
Yeah, no, that's true. The answer is always Miata. It's an actual thing. If you want a cheap, fun rear wheel drive car, Miata.
Yep.
It doesn't matter if it's. I had the Miata, and then I wanted something bigger because I was moving to San Antonio. I was going to be going to school in UTSA, so I wanted something to commute from San Antonio, but not like every day, but you know, something bigger where I could move my stuff to college with me. So I ended up getting a sedan. I got the E46 330i. I still wanted something rear-wheel drive at the time. That was like my main concern, is I wanted something that was fun, rear-wheel drive, and it had to be manual. So I landed with the 330i. It was a really fun car. I bought it. It was a one-owner car, but it had a lot of miles on it. I had like 150,000 miles when I bought it. And I loved that car, but you know, after 2 years, it ended up giving me a lot of problems. And it wasn't because it was a bad car, it's just it had a lot of miles. And as we all know, BMWs are pretty expensive to maintain.
Especially when you get into high miles, you never know it's going to be electrical or whatever.
Yeah, no, it was really annoying. So obviously around then I'd already moved back to Houston. Because I decided I was going to be going to U of H, so I wanted something to, you know, start my commute to U of H with. Something I wanted to be reliable. I'd already built up my credit, so I knew I was going to be financing a car, but I didn't know what I wanted. First thing I wanted was a 5.0, just because 5.0s they're great cars, bang for your buck. They're cool cars. But I couldn't find one that I wanted in my price range, and I also really wanted a four-door at the same time. So I started looking at, like, of course, the Subarus, but Subarus hold their value really well.
You can't buy a cheap Subaru, man.
Yeah,
it's got 150,000 miles on it, and it's a 2003.
Yeah, it's gonna be like a piece of shit, to be honest. If you buy like an old one, it's gonna be ragged on, you know. So started looking at like FRSs. You know, I just ended up with the Speed 3. I was like, you know what, Speed 3 doesn't look like a bad car. I'll check it out. And with having Mazdas before, you know, knowing they're reliable, I decided to go drive one. I went and drove one, and I drove one at a dealership. It was a Gen 2. I really liked it. It was a cool car. It was stock. It didn't really impress me by any means, but it was fun. You know, I just, from then on, I kind of decided, you know, I think the Speed 3 is a car for me. It's relatively cheap. Insurance is really cheap on it. Full coverage for being, you know, for being 20. You know, insurance is a pain. So the insurance isn't too bad on it. It's got a lot of room, gets good gas mileage, rides nice, and it's fun. And that, you know, I kind of gave up on the rule, trying to find a rear wheel drive car for my price range. And I found the Speed 3 and I like it a lot. I definitely don't regret it.
We gotta do this. We do this in every video. And I always tee afterwards.
It's not gonna be that loud, but it sounds cool. Just lay on it, like stay on it. You get a little launch control right there. It's not that loud because it's set at a reasonable RPM. It's set at like 3,200, I want to say.
Okay.
It works well for the track on street tires.
Here?
Yeah.
Okay. And boost!
What was that?
I don't know. Yeah, Yeah, give us a brake boosting lesson.
We're at 17 pounds of boost.
Okay.
Brake.